Video for non-parametric tests. This is going to focus on the Kruskal-Wallis test. So up to this point, we should now feel comfortable conducting the Wilcoxon signed rank test and the Mann-Whitney U test. Today we're going to focus on the Kruskal-Wallis test, which is the non-parametric analog to the one-way ANOVA. And so this Kruskal-Wallis test is known as the analysis of variance by ranks because, similar to the previous two non-parametric tests, we're going to be using ranks of our data in which to calculate our test statistic. And similar to the other non-parametric tests, Kruskal-Wallis test isn't simply testing if the means are different from our different groups or not. We're just addressing if the distributions of our data are different or not. So we're going to use the following formula to calculate our test statistic. Now again, this may look a little bit complicated, but it's just a matter of bookkeeping and following orders of operations because the information that we have here are simply sample sizes. This is either total sample sizes or the sample size of the respective sample or group, as well as the summation of our ranks. And so it's not a matter of unfamiliar values that we're putting into this equation. It's just making sure that we're following the equation appropriately based on orders of operations. So let's look through an example to see how this Kruskal-Wallis test works. Let's say that we're interested in biodiversity across our estuaries, and we want to see if there's any kind of difference across three of the estuaries along our coast: Galveston Bay, the upper coast, Matagorda Bay, and the middle coast, Corpus Christi Bay, and the lower coast. And our null hypothesis is that the biodiversity is the same across each one of these ecosystems, and our alternative hypothesis can take a variety of different forms. The Kruskal-Wallis test is simply going to tell us if we should be rejecting or supporting the null hypothesis, not which alternative hypothesis is correct. So we can go out and collect sampling across different time periods and these different bay systems and collect biodiversity values for our respective sampling. And then what we'll do is we're going to rank order our data in the same way that we've done in the previous examples. And so we'll rank order our data with the lowest values of biodiversity receiving the lower ranks. And again, we're going across each one of the respective data sets, keeping the identity of these ranks together. And then any kind of ties, we give a tied rank to. A double check that we can have is that we make sure that our highest rank is going to equal the value of the number of data points that we have. Now, we went through this quickly. What I would suggest doing is going back, pausing the video, and making sure that you feel comfortable ranking the data. Next, similar to the Mann-Whitney U test, is that we're then going to determine the sample size of each one of our respective groups, and then we're going to take the ranks, and we're going to take the summation of the ranks for each one of our groups. So we can go ahead and we can do that, and then we're going to use this information and we're going to put it into our respective formula in which to then calculate our test statistic. Now, noting that we're taking the summation of the ranks, we're going to then square those, and then we're going to take the sample sizes for each group, divide by that, and then take the summation. Again, following orders of operations is going to be key here for this formula. So we can go through and we can put in our respective values for this formula, and we can get our test statistic, 8.454. Now for ANOVA, we use the F distribution, but for this Kruskal-Wallis test, our H test statistic follows the distribution of chi-square, and our degrees of freedom are going to equal the number of groups minus 1. So we can go to our chi-square table, which maybe we haven't looked at in a while, but we should be familiar with. We find our degrees of freedom 2, identify what our significance level is, and our default is going to be 0.05, and then we compare our test statistic to this critical value. What we see is that our critical value exceeds is exceeded by the test statistic, and so we see that there's a significant difference here between these bay systems and their biodiversity indices. Now we don't know which is higher than the other, but we know that there is a difference. Now, the fourth and final video on non-parametric tests is going to be the Spearman rank correlation test. After this, we will have reached the conclusion of the semester and the videos.